Man, I'm really hoping we at some point soon get a little bit more backspace. I think you can fill up your inventory with more equipment containers. And I don't know if there's an easy way to get these, but I'm kind of hoping that maybe I get them from a quest or something, because I would like to have a little bit more inventory space. Alright, so let's try these new abilities. We have Corruption, corrupts the target, causing 40 shadow damage over 12 seconds, and burn the enemy for 10 fire damage, and then an additional 20 damage for over 15 seconds. So I use my 3. Oh, well, I guess I'm still doing damage to him, but that is not my kill. But that's fine. We grab this guy. So Corruption into Immolate. I like the sound design for that. Let me just see what kind of damage I do to him. Like, this feels pretty good. Like, I don't have to do anything. He's just completely burning down right now. Will he just burn down to the Immolate plus Corruption combo? I think he will. Oh, the last thing didn't quite finish. Actually, I can just auto-aim here. Bam, there we go. Beautiful. I mean, that feels pretty good. I quite like that. Also, we get a belt. I don't think we have a belt yet. So here we go. We now have a belt. Alright, so we go back into the cave now, and we look for the Frostmane Novices, who will give us some feather charms. So I guess they're wearing feather charms, so we will have to go grab them off their dead corpses and bring those back. I don't know what morbid things he wants to go do with these things, but I don't... You know, I'm not one to question what someone wants to do with a quest item. I just want my quest rewards. I mean, the kills feel so much quicker now. I do have a little bit of mana that I am running through very quickly, so I'm hoping there's some way I can improve my mana pool a little bit, or my mana regeneration. But like, look at how quickly I'm burning this guy down. Like, I could just walk up to him right now, start stabbing him a little bit, and he's dead. That's great. Feather Charm. So I don't know if these are 100% drops, or if I will have to just grind a lot of them. But hey, I'm 1 out of 3, so that's pretty good. So as a Guild Wars player, I'm obviously used to, well, pretty well-designed jumping, because the game was designed with, you know, jumping puzzles in mind. And I can definitely tell that this game has, like, very, very floaty jumping. And, like, the thing I'm used to is I'm used to being able to change the direction of my jump midair, and you can't do that in this game, which it makes sense, because obviously, you know, when you're midair, you would not be able to change direction, but I'm used to a combat system that allows that. So it really takes some getting used to not being able to change direction midair, which, like, I can't really fault the game for that, because that is the most logical way to do things. Like, that makes most sense. But it's just something that is, like, ingrained in my muscle memory, where I'm not used to not being able to do that. So doing multiple quests at the same time has a bit of a downside, because I now have to keep all these quest items in my inventory. So I have, you know, Grelin's report in my inventory. I have Wolf's jawbone in my inventory. My Hearthstone in there. I have Felix's chest, Felix's box. I still need to get Felix's bucket of bolts. I guess I will have to learn the haunt spell. I don't know exactly where I get this. I'm trying to scout for it as well. So there's so many inventory slots kind of claimed by quest items right now, where I desperately feel like I need more inventory space. I have the feather charms. I have the refugee quandary things. But now I need to find out where I can grab haunt. And the quest here says it is stolen power. So it says that I need to take them from the Rockjaw Vermin to the southwest. So it's southwest from this location here. So southwest would be somewhere around here. So there's all of these mobs that I have been killing consistently. And I've been killing them for the past 10-15 minutes or so, but I haven't gotten it yet. So that makes me think it's probably going to be somewhere in a chest among those mobs, but I'm not quite sure where that thing would be. So this is kind of where, you know, stuff like Questy really comes in. Although I guess this one might not be on Questy, because this one might be new, right? Because it has the new reward. So I'm thinking most people probably don't know this, but I am quite enjoying not knowing anything and kind of just seeing if I can figure it out. So I haven't been able to find the haunt skill just yet, but I decided to just run back real quick to Envomar and empty my inventory by handing in 2 quests, which also now has given me the Summon Imp ability. Now, I don't know how long this imp is going to be around. It doesn't indicate a timer, so maybe it's going to be around until it dies. But I guess I can summon it. It has a pretty lengthy summoning animation. And I think the idea of a warlock is generally to always have a summon with you. I don't know if that's, you know, a specific specialization or something you go into where you do run one and then another one where you don't run one. The ability itself is in the demonology tier. So I guess we have, well, we have general skills, we have affliction, demonology, destruction, and then runes, which is the new tab. And I don't know which one I'm going to specialize in yet, but I want to test all of them a little bit and kind of see what I like. So from what I understand, demonology is probably going to be a lot of summoning things. There's like an icon of Illidan here, which might suggest that maybe Illidan is going to be a thing. I think there's like a demon form that makes you look like Illidan in the rune system somewhere. I saw some pre-launch stuff about that. We got destruction, which seems to be fire magic mostly, I think, or like shadowy and fiery magic, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I really do want to find this skill before I move on. Like, I'm almost level 6 right now. I feel like I'm doing pretty decent. And I really want to find wherever Haunt is, so I can start moving on with my quests and move out of this little starting area. So I think this might be the thing I need. I was chatting to this guy, Duartot, who was also looking for it, and he said it's around the middle of the map. And this is the middle of the map, kind of. So there we go. Rune of Haunting. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Alright, so use. Teaches you a new engraving ability. Right, learning. Let's see how this works. Okay. You have learned how to create a new item. Engrave gloves haunt. So now I go to my skill panel, I guess, and I go to the rune tab. No, I don't. But I do know how to create a new item now. So I guess I'll go back to the quest giver. And maybe he's going to teach me a bit more. I also have another skill bar up here, by the way, which is the skill bar for my imp, who's called Chogup, apparently. I haven't chosen to name him myself, but, you know, Chogup is a fine name, I think, so I don't mind that. So let's go up here. Can I talk to him now, or do I need to do something else first?
Greetings. I'm out of range. Right.
You seem to have taken well to this new magic, EK. Find more runes like this and engrave them to your equipment. Wield this power against those who would oppose you. Someday, perhaps your power will even eclipse my own.
You have a great day now.
So, has it been engraved into my... Oh, runes up here. Haunt. Hands. And what does Haunt do exactly? So, Haunt now gives me the ability. So, I put something on the item, and then I get the ability on my bar. So, now I have the ability on my bar here that says, Unleash a ghostly soul on an enemy, dealing 27 to 32 damage, blah, 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 blah. We have learned about this before. And it's going to increase our dot damage, and we're going to be healed. And since we now have 2 dot damage abilities in here with Corruption and Immolate, that sounds very good. Now, the mana is also only 15, and it's instant cast, and it's the same range. So we can just open up with one of these, insta-pop the haunt, and then use the second one, I guess. Alright, I want to quickly try this. So I'm going to keep you guys here with me for just a moment as I run outside. I do want to turn off my imp for a second, just so I don't like insta blow up the mob. And I get some time to just quickly check out how much damage I do. I'm hoping the mobs here are at least level 2 or something. This thing might die too quickly, but let's just see. 3, 6. Okay. Alright, we absolutely just nuked the guy. And then we get the healing on top of that as well. Okay, that feels really good. Anyway, I can continue questing now. Ah, Mountaineer Thalos. There you are. Hail, have a care, EK. The tunnel to Dun Morok is infested with trogs and is not safe for travel. If you haven't any pressing business in Dun Morok, I'll have to ask you to remain in Envelmar until the tunnel is safer. Well, if Whitebeard is sending you to Dun Morok on important business, I can't very well stop you, can I? At least let me provide you with some advice and directions. The trogs in the tunnel are extremely hostile and haven't shown any hesitation in attacking travelers through the tunnel. You seem tough enough though, so you should probably be safe. Directions? If you're going to speak with Senir, you'll find him in Kharanos. Make your way through the tunnel, and after you come out on the other side, just keep following the road. It'll run right into Kharanos. Deliver Grelin's report to Senir Whitebeard in Kharanos. Alright. I guess we'll go in here. We have another quest here as well.
Honored, I'm sure.
Hey, you look like a hearty adventurer. If you're planning on braving the past, do you suppose you could bring back a package to the inn in Kharanos? You were planning on stopping at the inn, right? If you make it through the pass, you'll definitely want to take a breather there. Anyways, bring this to Tanok Frosthammer, the innkeeper's assistant. I can't get through the pass myself, and it'll be days until Mountaineer Escort comes through. Deliver the crate of in supplies to Tanok Frosthammer in Kharanos. So we want to bring both of these things through this very dangerous tunnel that supposedly is... Well, okay, yeah, I like how we're looking at the map right now, and you probably can't see it on the YouTube video too well, but there is a nice mountain pass we have to go through now. Like, I like it, you know. Guild Wars 1 had a very similar thing, where you have to go through the mountains to get to the other side, to get to, like, this much more cheerful part of the game. Look at this. So yeah, it is all shadow damage over time you deal to the target by 20%, so that's a damage modifier and a heal, and it has the baseline damage from its own ability. And this is going to be shadow damage. This is going to be fire damage. So I definitely care more about corruption right now than I care about immolate, just because of the fire damage. Shadow damage, I mean. Well, that wasn't a particularly dangerous cave. I think I killed like 3 mobs in there. But we have come out the other side. A better man. A stronger man. A wiser man. And apparently, if I hover my mouse over this thing, it tells me Kharanos is that way, and that's where I need to go. So that's kind of cool. So a lot of people probably really dislike this part about older MMOs, where you had to do a lot of traveling, just, you know, walking on long roads and really taking in the scenery. I actually really love this because this gives the place a much more grounded feeling. One of my main gripes with Guild Wars 2 is that, well, first of all, you can teleport wherever you want using waypoints, but especially since mounts were introduced, exploration just feels like you should never be on foot while exploring, and I really do enjoy this more slower paced exploration, which is why, even though I absolutely love Guild Wars 2, just from a world building and exploration sense, I much prefer Guild Wars 1, where like a map in Guild Wars 2 can be traversed in probably under 2-3 minutes if you're, you know, using Griffin speed boost and stuff, where those same maps, just because the scale was different in Guild Wars 1, would take you like literally hours to traverse, just because the scale was very different, but it made places feel much bigger than in Guild Wars 2, which I think I do prefer, and I think World of Warcraft really has nailed that. I don't know how they do it with newer zones, if it still feels as good, but just the fact that I have this world map like right now, I've been playing for probably about 2 hours or something, and I have just left the starter place. I'm moving into the next place, and then there's all these places left to go, and like it feels big. It feels like a very big, fun world to explore, and I really like that. And I'm really hoping that when we do get a new MMO at some point, it's going to be launching, maybe the Riot MMO, for example, that we kind of get that same feeling again, because I love that sense of exploration. I think that's one of the most fun things to me about, you know, playing MMOs in general. That's why I play MMOs. It's really fun.
Hi.
How are you? Would like to share a drink with me, perhaps? Not much else to do in the cold.
See you soon.
What's this? Ah, my brother's report. I told him to be sparing with the use of the king's name, but he didn't listen. No harm, I suppose, though it's sure to ruffle some feathers in the Senate. Not that those weren't some feathers that needed ruffling. Ha! Nonetheless, I guess that means that I should send my report on to Ironforge as well. But I must admit that I am a bit behind bloody cold. I should have some work for you later if you're interested.
Off with you.
I most certainly am interested. So that was one of the quests. There are multiple quests in this area we can go ahead and take. There's also probably like an inn or something over there. And I wouldn't be surprised if we have to go in there, because I think the quest said that we needed to... Oh, the restings. Oh yeah, the resting experience system. So I know about this. I know you can go into these places and then you get rested experience. So when you're logged out, you build up this bar. And then by building up this bar, you can then, when you log back in, you get double experience for, well, a small amount of your experience bar, which is just a nice little bonus. I like as well how these taverns feel very grounded in the world once again. You know, like you're literally walking in here. You see people sitting here at the tables. We're standing at the tables. You see NPCs. The entire music changes as well when you enter one of these. It's something about just Classic. Like, I never really played Classic. I never really played WoW too much. But I always wanted to play it back in the day, but my parents didn't want to pay for a subscription for games, so I ended up playing stuff like Guild Wars, Nine Dragons, Rose Online, like all those kind of games. But I've always really wanted to play WoW, and every time I come to this game, I have this weird sense of nostalgia, even though I haven't really played the game, just because I remember watching footage of the game so much.
How are you?
Anyway, hi there, come in, take a seat by the fire and warm yourself with a flagon of ale.
Watch your back.
Ah, at last. The supplies from hands... Wait, the supplies from hands? I was beginning to worry. We've had scarce word from Envermar ever since the Trogs overran the pass. Thanks for bringing this to me, EK, and please, make yourself comfortable. You must be tired after your journey. Oh, we take the refreshing water because that's much more important for us. Alright, well... That's... Okay, it's a nice little tab. Look at this. Okay, we got rested. You are rested. Being rested gives you a temporary bonus to experience from killing monsters. And right now it's a very small bar, but it's definitely going to build up. It's a good thing I'm going to take a quick break, so I will probably be back later. So, also, I am going to do this thing where I might not just record one video and then, you know, have like an intro and an outro and then go for, you know, the next video. So you might see me like changing clothes in the middle of the video and stuff, because the thing I want to do is I want to, like, I noticed this when I was doing Diablo, you know, I don't want to have to set myself down for like 4 or 5 hours for a single video if I want to cut a lot of stuff out. I want to have the ability to just kind of like play for an hour, leave again, play for an hour, leave again. So I'm just going to create like this huge like folder of gameplay, and I'll like puzzle it together, piece it together to kind of see if I can make, you know, 15 to 30 minute videos out of those. I think that's going to be the plan, and I don't know how much footage I'm going to get, but I think I'm going to get quite a bit. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I am going to just quickly explore this place because it looks really cool. I like how there's like these little bedrooms are over here. It makes sense. Like this is kind of like a hotel kind of in place. Anyway, thanks for watching. And yeah, I'll be back.